Hi guys, well today we're going to be talking tents, as you may have guessed. I've been thinking about alternatives to tarps, and I wanted to go ultra lightweight, so I was looking for a really cheap ultralight tent. Well, you can't do it. You need to spend a fortune in order to go ultralight, but you can go lightweight. Now this tent I've come across, these cost in supermarkets and everywhere else. I've seen them in all sorts of different shops, value shops and supermarkets. These tents cost £10, which is no money at all really. And for that you get a two-man tent. There's plenty of room in there for two people. You get a sewn-in ground sheet, you get bug netting door as well as a waterproof door as well. Now the 1.5 kilos for this doesn't include the pegs, but you can always make yourself some ultralight pegs. I've got a previous video on how to make some carbon fibre ones, or you can make some wire pegs out of coat hangers, that sort of thing. Now my thinking behind this setup is I prefer to have sewn-in ground sheet, so it's bug proof, and I prefer to have netting as well, mosquito netting, that sort of thing. Now the tarp that I use, this is it here, this is a 12 by 12 DD Hammocks tarp. This weighs 800 grams and it makes quite a big shelter, but it doesn't come with a ground sheet, so if you have to add a ground sheet I use a piece of plastic. This is a big piece of plastic and that weighs 350 grams, so we're already up to 1150 grams. If you then need to carry cordage and pegs and trekking poles, something like that, in order to pitch it where there are no trees, these weigh 500 grams. So you're already up to the weight of this tent. And you haven't got a sewn-in ground sheet and you haven't got bug-proof netting on your doors. So actually this works out at a pretty good weight. Now I know that you can use your trekking poles during the day and they don't really include into the weight of the tent, but that said, this for me is quite a good option, I think. Now it does come with its own problems. Obviously build quality isn't going to be brilliant when you're spending £10 on a tent, and it doesn't have sealed seams, but you can seal them yourself. It comes with glass fibre poles. Now they're fine, but I have had problems in the past with them being quite brittle in cold weather. So that's something you need to bear in mind, but if you look after your kit, it'll look after you, and I can't see it being any more fragile than some of these more expensive ultralight tents anyway, because those you have to look after very well too. So for my mind, for paying £10, you can't really go wrong with a tent like this. Bear in mind that this can be pitched freestanding. Obviously it's up here with no pegs in place, so it doesn't matter what terrain you're pitching it in. It will withstand a fair amount of wet weather. I've had this outside and it hasn't leaked on me. I did a little test to make sure it was watertight, and I've been quite impressed with it. I don't know how it would hold out in strong winds, but you can say the same for a tarp really, and a tarp suffers in strong winds unless it's pitched down really well and you end up getting wet inside a tarp anyway if it's blowing a gale. So yeah, I think this is a pretty good option. Comment if you've used a tent like this, tell me how you've got on. I would be interested to hear if anyone else has had a go using something like this too. But I think for me this year this is going to be a winner. I'm really impressed with it really, for the money.